Hey everybody, it's a fat shit behind the camera. That must mean it's another video by Forever Retro 82. Hope you're all staying safe and being well out there as always. So I think the time has come and hopefully I can attempt it without backing out because this is a fucking chore to do. But it's worth it for both a video and to educate those who are interested in doing the same thing. This is my NES. Yes, yellowed. Looks beat to shit. And it's dirty as fuck. No, I'm not going to restore it. I'm going to restore its functionality. Now, you may ask, why? Why not just clean it and all that? One, I'm lazy, and two, I don't feel like it, and three, I want to keep it in the state it's always been since I've had it. Okay? Until the day it finally just totally kills out, I want to keep it in the state I've always had it. But yeah, it's completely yellowed out. I'm not going to retro bright it. I'm not going to go through all that. It's just too much of an effort, and I'm lazy, and I don't really give a fuck. That, and I'm pressed for time as always, so I just want to, I'm taking the shortcut route, you could say. I mean, you can even see, like, the door here, it's broken, it's held together by tape. But this is my same NES I've had since 1997. Or 96. One of those years. I want to say, 97 sounds about right. Because that's when I started really collecting for this thing. The one I had before that had a broken GPU. Meaning, any game you would slap in, it would be the graphics, they wouldn't do that whole bleeding thing that when they move around and stuff when you know there's a bad connection. No, the game was, it's hard to explain. Like, I remember putting in Dragon Spirit on it, and I cleaned the fuck out of that cartridge, and I know it worked. It's like the graphics were duplicated on the pixels or the graphic art or the whatever the fuck, and it just didn't work. Or it didn't work as intended. I'm not going to play my games with the graphics being doubled because it just looks all stupid and shit. So, I had to trash that motherfucker, and then I got this one from trading in 3 games. I told this story before, but I'll tell it again just for shits and giggles. There was a time I needed an NES because I wanted to play, and play it in the way God intended. One of my brother's friends was over. And he's like, I have a spare NES. I have 2 of them. I have a spare. I'm willing to give it to you if you give me 3 of your games, and they have to be good games too. Well, the funny thing is I gave him 1 good game, and the other 2 games questionably are bad. But I gave him 3 of the games, and those games were Kung Fu, Destination Earthstar, and Cybernoid. Now, Destination Earthstar I liked at the time. These days I don't have the patience for it, and the game is just way too fucking hard. But at the time I liked it. I thought it was okay. And Cybernoid was just Euro stank, got on my nerves, gives me a headache. But it's not exactly a bad game. In fact, there's 2 of them on European computers. So they brought the first one to the NES, and it was okay. It wasn't great. And then Kung Fu, loved to death. I mean, there's not one person I knew growing up that didn't like Kung Fu. Kung Fu was just awesome. I mean, the game was actually Kung Fu Master, but it was renamed Kung Fu and brought to the NES. And I honestly think the NES version is better than the arcade. It was smoother. The collision detection was perfect because the collision detection in the arcade game pisses me off to this day. I hate the arcade version of that game for that reason. The collision detection is shit. I do like the sound design on it, the whole what and everything. It sounds better than the NES because, of course, the NES didn't, it wasn't great when it came to voice and whatnot. It was doable, but it just didn't sound great. But anyways, yeah, so what we're going to do is I'm going to take this apart. Now, I'm not going to record that because, well, it's going to take a lot of swearing and cussing and getting pissed off to get this fucker go because there's so many fucking screws on this bitch. There's some under here, and then there's the RF shielding, and then there's some on the motherboard that I have to take out to get the motherboard out because we got to take out that fucking 72-pin connector. You know what we're going to do to it? No, we're not going to brush it like I used to do, what I used to call the Nintendo teeth back on the Demonius X channel. No. We're going to boil a motherfucker. And I'm going to basically show you what you do, because if you do it this way, it will last not only longer, but it will do something that is sorcery. And I intend to show that. But, time for a jump cut, because now I got to go through the grueling thing of taking apart this motherfucker. I don't have my drill. I don't know what I did with it. So I'm going to use my magnetic screwdriver and get inside Betsy here. I didn't name her that on purpose. So it is what it is. But I've always called this like my first wife. and best friend, because this thing has been with me. This and my the Super Nintendo is different. My old one broke, but that's different story entirely. Oh, and so just to give you guys a little bit of a thing before I do take this apart, there was a fucking, I think it was Nintendo or some stupid schmuck that said, "Oh, what is this thing on the bottom?" It's an expansion port that we never used here in America. Why make a video on it? So you can get the AdSense money? You guys are fucking insufferable, man. Why not do it for the sake of the hobby? Just to get your $2 from fucking Google AdSense? Or whoever the fuck you're with? Fuck these goddamn professional piece of shit video game YouTubers. They make me fucking sick. I mean, yeah, they're flashier than me, but at least I'm not going to fucking sit there and bullshit you and give you clickbait. I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. That's your extension port. And they were going to bring the FDS over here to America, and they didn't because it didn't do well in Japan. And they also found, like, a lot of the games that were in the FDS, they brought over on the cartridges for the Famicom. There you go. That's all you need to say in a video. Motherfucker. I'm sorry. They give me a migraine. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and get this started. I'll show you the pin connector once I get it out. And you want to make sure you have like a bowl or something. Put the screws in. Bowl. I mean, I'm doing the poverty way. Some of you probably have a thing where you can put like a pill keeper or something like that for your screws. That's cool. I don't have that on me. I don't have one because I don't do this very often because it's getting old. I'm tired of taking shit apart and trying to fix it. It's getting on my nerves, just like everything else under the sun. So I'm going to go ahead and take this apart, and the next you'll see is I will show you the pin connector, and maybe I can show you the NES Money motherboard and all that so you can see what it looks like. I mean, I'm pretty sure all you got to do is do a Google search. This isn't like the old days, so jump cut. Here's the NES as in all its glory. You have your lovely PPU, your CPU, your RAM chips, and this little doohickey, since I don't have a fucking brighter camera, this chip right here above these two is your CIC chip. Now, I don't think this is going to do it. I don't think you're going to be able to see it. No, probably not. But I'm going to tell you this, if you ever decide to do this. On the bottom row of your CIC chip, the fourth one from the left, clip that motherfucker. That will stop your stupid blinking that you get on your NES. That's annoying as hell. I clipped that bitch with a fucking wire cutter. I removed it from the chip itself. It no longer has a connection. And that's a good thing, because that way you don't have a blinking light and it's less annoying. Because a lot of your problems with, other than the connection itself, is that fucking chip. The CIC, also known as the NES 10 chip. Or no, actually that's incorrect. At least I think so. I think the N10 chip is actually inside the cartridges. I could be wrong. I mean, like I said, I'm old. Forgive me for my ignorance. But the thing we're going to want to do, and this is also your expansion port that was never used here in America. What you want to do, and it's hard to do, be patient with yourself, and if you don't trust yourself, take the wires off so you don't snap them. This does take a little finessing. There we go. This is most of your problems other than that fucking chip. And it slides off the motherboard right here. So basically, it's an expansion port. And what you can do, which I'm going to do, but not on camera obviously, is clean those off. Now, I was looking at this pin connector. This motherfucker is, you can barely see, you can see maybe a little bit of oxidization right there. It's dirty as shit. That's going to get cleaned, but that's because this whole thing is going to go into a pot and get boiled for at least 15 minutes. And for this next bit, you want to make sure you have this in a game you hate. And in this case, it's NES Play Action Football. And the reason why is because I tried liking this game. I got it for 79 cents. Right? And I always, at the time, I could find anything I like about any NES game, regardless of how bad it is. Now, we all know how untrue that is, because there's another game in my collection, D&D Heroes of the Lands, excuse me, that is fucking terrible. And honestly, this is garbage. It was, I mean, you could play 4 players, but why? I want to know what in your right mind four motherfuckers want to play this garbage. Okay? This is one of the worst, if not the worst, football game next to maybe 10-Yard Fight on the NES. If you need to play football on the NES, Tecmo Bowl and Tecmo Super Bowl. But yeah, so basically this is all it is. I mean, it's simple as it gets, and that's fine. This little simple doohickey is responsible for many gamers and games alike that have legendary status. Gamers have their first on this system, the ones that are my age, and it's just a beautiful piece of hardware. Of course, taking all these screws out to fucking get to this nonsense was fucking hell and a half. And it's going to be fun putting it back together because I have screws all over my desk. Now, usually I use a bowl. I decided against it because, unfortunately, that bowl is not clean. I thought it was. I forgot to clean it. That's okay. No, that's all right. We have them on the desk. I know which screws go into what, so we're going to be okay on that. So the next bit you're going to see is this going into a pot in my dirty-ass kitchen because I haven't had time to clean it. And I'm going to show you exactly what you do to make this motherfucker work again. And you're, like I said, you're going to see some sorcery. It's going to be amazing, I guarantee you. So sit tight, relax. Next jump cut will be me at the stove. Yeah, so this is my dirty-ass stove. Of course it's my dirty-ass stove because, well, I need to get some stove cleaner. So anyways, what you want to do, grab your connector. See, this is where I boil children before I eat them, right? The lighting in my kitchen is absolute dog shit. Anyways, what you do is just drop it in. You want to let it boil for approximately 15 minutes. And then, it's probably best you have some tongs to take that out because it's going to be hot to touch. But in 15 minutes, we will show you the next step. You may see over there my cartridge because that's going to come into play and it'll all make sense once you see it. So, yeah, let it boil for about 15 minutes. Don't worry, the plastic will be fine. Just, yeah, it's about 15 minutes. Alright, it's been approximately 15 minutes, so we're going to go ahead and take out our lovely, freshly boiled connector, and we're going to put it on here so it can dry. Give it a little bit. You want to keep the water boiling, because even after we're done with this next part, we're going to have to boil it for 15 more minutes. Now, some may call that excessive. I call it something that will actually fucking work. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be able to aim this at me properly. Hopefully this will... If not, then I'm going to completely omit this part. I can't get this fucker to stand. Come on, stand for me. Maybe if I use something in place to lean it up against. Okay, cool. A bottle of sesame oil. That definitely works. Alright, can I touch it? Okay, yeah, it's a little warm. It's a little warm. But, yeah, as you can see, the plastic has not warped in anything, so that's good. So, and what you want to do is take your NES game, find where the game would go into, which in case would be right here. And you basically just want to have sex with it with the cartridge. Put it in and out many times for about maybe 30 seconds. You know, do the corners. Make sure it's a game you don't have any love for, because this could damage the cart. And like I said, I don't give a shit what happens to this here cart. But yeah, you just basically want to do this for about approximately 30 seconds. What the science is behind it, I think it straightens the connectors a little bit better, given they're in the hot phase. That's why it's good to do this, and it also cleans the connectors real nice and good. I mean, the cartridge could be dirty, but it's not going to matter because that's why you're going to boil it again for another 15 minutes. Just want to get it like the corners straight. I mean, sex sounds would be great to add for this for a little funny, but, you know, since YouTube's a bunch of snowflaking motherfuckers, we're not going to do that. As much as I want to. Okay, that should be good enough. Let's go ahead and throw her back in. Sorry for the shoddy camera work. We're dealing with low production values here, my friends. So, let's go ahead and throw that back in for another 15 minutes. And I think, what do you want, little kitten? You sure about that? Huh? You sure about that? Yeah. My cats are very vocal. Kittens, anyways. Even though this is not important, we are rehoming these kittens this weekend. We found them some homes that people are going to come and see. Got 5 little puppies, or puppers, or kittens, whatever you want to call them. They're all cute and they're very vocal. Anyways, that's not important. Anyways, so yeah, so 15 minutes more for this, and then we'll take it out, and then we'll put it all back together. And the next time we'll be testing some cartridges to see if my labors have been fruitful or they're in failure. We'll just have to see, huh? Okay, you may notice that the cartridges on top of my television here. That's because those are the games we're going to be testing. I didn't clean them or anything. It should work without a hitch. I already have the first game I'm going to test. I'm going to test about 5 of them. It's just some random ass games I picked from my fucking stupidly big connection behind me. And, well, we're just going to put them in and see if they just turn on. They should work first hitch. And if not, you just got to give it a little bit of a wiggle. But majority of the time, it should just work, bam, no problem. So, you're going to have to see my fat ass for like a second or two during each pass because, well, it's just it's the way we do things around here. Okay, cool. I can see the screen. Let's turn the power on. Hey! My old girl is working. Okay. That's Russian attack. Let's put in Castlevania. We're doing this all in one take. Castlevania. Look at that. Look at that. I didn't blow him nothing. And she's working like she should. Everything looks clean and proper. On a CRT, I mean, I swear to Christ, CRT on the NES is the most beautiful thing in the world. It's beautiful. More beautiful than the Goth. Okay. That's Castlevania. That's working just fine. Next game is Gremlins 2, the new batch. Will it give me the same shit? Well, like I said, just give it a little... There we go. Like I said, give it a little bit of love tap. It's fine. Unlike before, when I would try to put the game in, nothing would work. So that's working. That's working. Alright, that leaves 2 more games. Let's see how they fare. Like I said, I didn't clean these or anything. So it's amazing they're just working as is. Alright, next game, Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. Okay, well this one probably gonna need a love tap. Well, okay, that's not good. Unless my copy's dead, which I hope is not the case. Okay, we have a glitched out title screen. There. I just had to move it a little bit to the left. My thing might be, my control deck might be crooked, but I'm not really worried about that. As long as it works, see. But as you can see, Zelda 2 is working. As intended, just need to move it a little bit over in the control deck, and once that works, bam. Alright, now let's leave one more game. Mighty Final Fight. Oh, look at that. Look at that. I didn't even have to do anything. Working as intended. So yeah, now I can play my NES without a hitch. This is awesome. Because I've been wanting to do it for a while. I wanted to fix it for a while, but it's a pain in the dick to take apart an NES. So that works perfectly as intended. So, move my fat ass over, give my final thoughts. So yeah, that is how you make an NES work again. You take it apart, boil the connector, 15, clean it with the game you don't like, put it back in, deal with the screws. My NES needs new screws. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Right now, it's only being held by one screw. I don't know what's wrong with the screws that I have on it. I'll need to find out what kind of screws they use, because that's not my level of expertise, if I want to say. But I hope you enjoyed this video for what it's worth. My NES works again. I am happy about that. I've been wanting to fix it for a very long time. I just hadn't had the energy or the time to do it, and tonight I made some time. It was a feat, but she's working again, so now I can enjoy my NES as God intended, on a CRT and on the original box. I'm going to tell you, though, if you guys want to tell me or help me out here, I don't want to keep having to do this. So if you guys can tell me of a top-loading NES, like Retro Game Trio or something like that, that doesn't have the shitty sound and color. Not HD, though. I want it to be CRT, aka composite connection. If you can tell me that in the comments below of what you would recommend, I'd appreciate it. If not, maybe I'll just pick up one of those and see, because I don't want to have to keep doing this. But don't get me wrong, I'm glad she's working. I mean, like I said, she is my first digital wife. I got plenty of those now, like plenty of digital waifus. NES, she's the OG. I mean, she is precious to me. I'm glad she's working, but goddamn, I'm getting too old for this nonsense. But yeah, I just need to get some new screws, and then she'll be even in better shape than she is right now. I had to pry the bitch open because the screws wouldn't come out in the first place, and then when I got them, like the screw I put in there is already sticking out. I'm sorry, babe. Anyways, you guys take good care of yourselves. Keep gaming, keep loving each other, keep it retro. I hope you enjoyed this video for what it's worth to you. I know it was a little bit all over the place, but I wanted to make sure to do... I've been wanting to do this for a while, and I finally found the time. So I hope you enjoy it. And if you do, great. Just let me know what you think. Is there anything you could recommend that's not as insane as boiling it? Because, like I said, that's the only way I know you can get the NES to work for like a very long time before you have to do it again. Because brushing the teeth like I used to on my old channel, that would only last about 3 months, and then it would stop working again, and it was annoying as hell. So, old hardware, love it, but it's a pain in the ass to upkeep. Take care, guys, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.
Thank you for watching my video. If you liked what you saw and would like to support my channel, please consider being a patron. I'll put your name up with these fine folks who have donated to this channel, and that would be awesome to have you on board. If not, that's entirely up to you. I hope you have a good day and take care.